Hey Mimi. So we often encounter various situations and with individuals, things that we're expecting to happen in our lives, believing for, and oftentimes it just doesn't happen that way, or things are being said about us that's inaccurate, right? And we may want to defend ourselves, right? And feel like we have to and need to tell the truth about the situation. And, you and I've had a few conversations about that. But as we were conversing regarding those type of situations, it got me to thinking about Exodus 14:14, which tells us to remember that the Lord will fight for us. We need just to, in some translations, they'll say we need just to be still, keep silent. And so when you hear that, that the Lord will fight for you, you need to just be still or keep silent. What does that mean to you?
I love that. And of course, to me, that means that the Lord will fight our battles. Because even though, of course, it may be easier said than done, when we automatically hear that someone's like, oh, they're talking about you behind your back, or like they're talking bad about you, our first automatic response may be to confront them. And even though that may seem like the right thing to do, the emotions that may be leading up behind that feeling, it can all turn out wrong. So I feel like it's so important to know that we shouldn't trying to get like revenge or anything, or like vengeance, or even like when it comes, like you said, things just not working out the way we thought them to. That doesn't mean that like our life is over,
Right?
Because that just means that our life may just be beginning, because God may have something even better in store for us. That's why that didn't happen. And I feel like it's so important to know that God will continue to be on our side and continue to fight our battles. And I feel like we should continue to trust in Him with that and not try and take matters into our own hands. What do you think?
That was pretty great.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I agree with you wholeheartedly, and you're right. Whether it is someone who's being out of pocket and saying things that are inaccurate, right? Or, as you said, if it's situations that just haven't panned out the way we expected it to, it's so important for us not to let the negativity that is associated with those situations, we allow that to be internalized, right? And because in doing so, then it causes a disconnect, a hindrance between us and our relationship with the Lord, because we're saying that we're giving that situation more power than the one who has the final say in everything that happens in our lives. He knows who's gonna say what. He knows what is or isn't gonna happen, right? And so because of that, it's so important that we rest, be still, be silent, because as I say to you sometimes, the loudest thing you could ever say is absolutely nothing. Not everything that is said requires a response, or an action. We may not be able to control what people say or do, or how situations will end up happening and being resolved, but we have full control over how we respond to it. So I think that, as you said, when we keep in mind that it is God who fights our battles, that the battle is not ours, it is His, we can rejoice in the midst of whatever's happening, glorify Him, letting the enemy know. And just that reassurance for us that no matter what it is, that is our go-to. That we will be still, we will be silent, because we know that at the end of the day, it is God who has the final say. He is the one that fights our battles, and He can handle it better than we could anyway, because He knows what's coming our way.
Absolutely, I love that. Great job.
Thanks, babe.
Of course. Just remember, the Lord will continue to fight our battles. So it's our job to be still and stay silent. Have a blessed day. We'll see you next Monday.
Bye.